They call it the invisible hand of global commodity markets, the traders who move fuel, metals, and the money that powers nations. Today we follow one of the biggest, Mercuria Energy Group, and its quietly deep, often opaque ties inside China. Mercuria publicly styles itself as a neutral market player. LNG deals, metals and critical minerals trading, green transition messaging. But a pattern emerges when you read the English headlines next to the Chinese pages. Different emphasis, different audiences, different stories. On Chinese sites and in local reporting, Mercuria's footprint appears more concrete. Trading entities, port storage projects, long-term supply contracts with state utilities. One recent example, Mercuria's long-term LNG agreement with Guangzhou Gas Group, a subsidiary of a Chinese state-owned enterprise ultimately overseen within China's state system. In English, the deal is framed around commercial opportunity and the energy transition. But in Chinese coverage, it is described as contributing to regional energy security and national strategic goals. Mercuria has also entered into partnerships with Chinese SOEs, such as a crude storage joint venture at Qingdao's Dongjiakou port with the state-controlled Qingdao port operator. Going further back to 2012, they sold half their stake in Vesta Terminals to a subsidiary owned by Sinopec. This marked the first move by a Chinese SOE into the European oil storage market. Key people matter. Han Jin built and led Mercuria's Asia operations. Li Xinhua previously worked at Sinochem, itself a major CCP state-owned enterprise, before heading Mercuria's Beijing office and later joining a leading Chinese refiner. Other figures connected to Mercuria's China ecosystem have backgrounds at firms such as PetroChina, a listed arm of China National Petroleum Corporation, a central state-owned enterprise, and at Bank of China International. These are not private corporations, but rather pillars of China's state industrial and financial system. This revolving door between global trading houses and CCP state-owned enterprises raises structural questions. Then there's narrative management. Mercuria's English-language press release about strengthening its presence in China is now a broken link on the corporate site, yet it remains indexed in search results. English communications today emphasize diversified global operations. Chinese materials, however, continue to highlight local integration and cooperation. What are they hiding? Why does Mercuria insist on keeping its structural ties to China on the down low? So here's the central question. As Western governments attempt to reduce strategic dependence on China for energy and critical minerals, can a global trading firm whose Asia leadership and historical capital links intersect with CCP state-owned enterprises truly remain insulated from geopolitical influence? Could this be creating more risk for Western supply chains than we realize? This is not a verdict. It's an examination of publicly available records, executive histories, financial partnerships, and messaging differences, all of which is possibly being overlooked by Western leaders. In an era of supply chain decoupling and critical mineral competition, transparency is key.